Here's the thing. Being out of work after 50 can make you question everything. Remember, your job ended, your value didn't. Hello, everyone. I am Chauntelle Ricks, and I'm the founder of Edge Effect AI Learning Hub. I created this free community for women over 50 who are navigating layoffs, retirement, career changes, all these moments that we're all transitioning through. When life forces you to ask, what now? We talk about AI, but not only AI, we talk about mindset. Oh, the mindset is so important. We talk about work, income, business, faith, and how to build what comes next with the experience you already have. So let me ask you a question. Are you one of the ladies who have been out of work for a while? If you've been out of work for a while, in the chat, type me or put a one. Yeah, put a one if you've been out of work for a while. If you've been recently laid off and this thing it has your head just reeling because you haven't been able to process it all yet, put a two in the chat. So if you've been laid off for a while, put a one. And or you maybe have left your job, your business went out, you went out of business, whatever the case may be, and you're trying to find what that next is, put a one. And if you were just recently laid off and you're really still trying to figure out why, what happened, all of that, put a two. Now, this is number three. Maybe you've been applying for jobs for months, but you haven't been hearing anything. Or you get those dreaded, we found somebody else letters. Oh my gosh. So maybe you're retired and you've discovered that your income is not stretching as far as you expected. Oh, let me tell you something. I have experience with that one. At 62, it's not stretching as far as it used to. And listen, we're all aware of this because within the last, 2 years, our money is not stretching as far as it was. Oh, but we thank God for the favor of God because favor stretches further than our money. All right. But, and maybe you're a woman who stepped away from work because of caregiving. Maybe it was health, maybe it's family, or maybe just life. And now you're trying to figure out how to return, what to do next. I need to create income. You may not even need to create income, but you want to create income. All right. You may be married and you just want to make your own money. You're used to having your own money, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, we don't want you to feel like this is only for people who are single or something like that. Or maybe you simply know that the career you had is over. You're still at that position, but you can feel the winds of change coming. But you have no idea what you should be preparing yourself for next. What is the next? You don't want to wait until the axe falls. You want to begin that process of getting your next in order before you come to work on a Monday, Tuesday, midweek, Wednesday, and they say the company is closing or we're no longer going to have this position, and they shut that position down and they give you a severance pay and tell you goodbye, figure it out. Okay? The first thing I want you to do is take a breath. Take one breath. And I know as women, we sometimes we overthink it. We try to see it in our visual, what's getting ready to happen, how we need to make this thing happen. And you've got all kind of conversations going on. You're laying in your bed at night. You can't go to sleep because you've got so much going on. Your mind is on a constant loop. Here's what I want you to understand. You don't have to solve everything right now, okay? But you do need a plan for what's going to happen next. All right? This is not an answer that's going to automatically make you a millionaire because that would be a lie. Nobody can tell you that anything that you're learning out here on YouTube or any program that we have going on is going to make you a millionaire. I'm not even going to tell you that your plan should be to go and start a new business. I'm not even going to tell you that your plan should be to go back to school. But somewhere in here, you may hear something that sparks something in your spirit that you're like, oh, I can do that. And I probably would have never thought about that had I not heard it. All right. That's what we're doing here. So sometimes people hear that you're out of work and immediately start telling you to become an entrepreneur. You may be still trying to figure out how you're going to pay the light bill. So many of the so many of these people have courses. I felt that because I understand where many of you are. You're just trying to figure out how to pay this bill or that bill and to get food into your children's bellies. I understand it. This may not be the moment to launch 7 businesses, build three websites, or order matching or building, creating business cards, or announce yourself as the CEO of something you can't explain yet. All right. We need to put things in correct order. Whew. Let me stabilize myself as I tell you the first thing that you have to do is stabilize. When I thought about you hearing this, and your first thought is, how am I going to keep the lights on? Because the lights are important. The lights are needed for your children to study. Even though it's summertime, you probably still have them reading. You need to be able to cook. You need to be able to do so many things around your house. So that thing hit. Whew. I mean, that thing hit me like I was hearing this. I was watching this, sitting on the other side. All right. But as we walk through this, I pray that the Lord, says something to you that unlocks that place in you that has been caged up. All right. Okay. All right. So first thing I want to do is I want you to look outside of what your norm is, and let's see what income is available now. That may include your final paycheck, your severance, unemployment benefits, retirement income, temporary work, savings, or assistance you may qualify. All right. So some of you might be getting a few of these. You might be able to get a severance package. You're going to get a severance check. You're going to get unemployment. And you may even have some savings set up. You're going to be able to bring all this together. Because the one thing that we need to look at first and foremost is, what all are we looking at? A lot of times we have it up here, but we don't have it written down in front of us. And there's a scripture that I refer to so many times whenever you see any of my lives or whenever I do a workshop. It is the scripture that says, write the vision and make it plain so that the reader who reads it can run with it. If it's only up here, it can get jumbled. But when you write it out, you see it clearly so that you can run with a clear plan. All right? Okay? So I need you to look at your essential expenses. What must be paid now? What can be reduced, paused, or negotiated or canceled? So that means pulling out those credit cards and going through them. If you have like a calendar, what I do, I'm not going to show you one of my own, but in this first section of these calendars, I write down all the bills, write down all their balances and their due dates. Then leave yourself some space in there so that you can then go and negotiate on those balances. All right. And you're getting a clearer picture of what's coming up. What deadlines are coming up? What does your health coverage, when does your health coverage end? That's very important. You're going to need to know when your health coverage ends. Are they going to carry you for the next 3 months with you having to pay for that? Are they going to carry you for the next 6 months with you having to pay your portion that you had to pay even while you were working? Or does it end at the end of the month? And if it ends at the end of the month, let's just say it's the month of July, we're already on the 20th. So you got less than 10 days to figure out how you're going to have coverage. All right. What paperwork do you need to complete? You cannot make clear decisions when panic is driving your bus. Baby, jump off the panic bus, please, because that bus is bumpy. It doesn't let you know when it's getting ready to turn. It just turns, and you see yourself sliding across the seat. You have to be in focus, and you have to have clarity. All right. The next step is to assess what you already have. And many of you saying, but I don't have anything. What do I have? I was living off of a hope and a dream. I was making it from paycheck to paycheck. Well, baby, that's why we created this. You have experience. All right? You do. You have experience. You have skills. You have relationships. You have knowledge that did not disappear just because your job ended. Someone may be saying, well, I've been out of work for 10 plus years because I'm a home mom, and my children are now gone off to college, and it's like I'm starting over. That's still experience right there. Do you know that there's a new mom out there who doesn't know half of what you've already gone through? And you can create a guide helping a new mom. Wow. See? All right. A lot of times we don't take the experience that we have and look at it as knowledge that can be sold. Okay. All right. So ask yourself, what problems have I solved throughout my career or throughout my years? What do people consistently ask me for help with? What responsibilities did I handle that someone else may be willing to pay for? Are you a good bookkeeper? You know, there are some mothers who are stay-at-home mothers who are really bad at handling the books. And they're always shuffling money, hoping that their husband never asks to see what's going on. You can come and help them create a balanced budget and help them track what's going on. See, it's the little things that we don't think about that we can help people with. All right. What skills could transfer into another industry, a contract position, a consulting business, a training manual or guide, a small service? You're not starting from nothing. You're starting from an experience. So here's the thing. Being out of work after 50 can make you question everything. But you have to remember your job ended, not your value. All right? Then you need to choose your primary path for the next 30 days. That path may be finding another job. Okay? It may be temporary or contract work while you decide what comes next. It may be learning one specific new skill. It may be consulting. It may be offering a simple service. It may be building a small business, but only after you have confirmed that someone actually needs what you want to sell. I need to slow down on that one, because a lot of times we start businesses on what we want, but it's not necessarily what people want and they will pay for. You don't have to have 5 paths at one time. Choose one primary path and one backup path. That's enough. This is also where AI can help you, but let me be clear. AI is a tool, it's not the entire plan. You can use AI to help you identify transferable skills, improve your resume, research industries, prepare for interviews, organize business ideas, write service descriptions, create content, and learn new skills. But we are not using AI to throw random ideas at the wall and hope one pays the mortgage. All right? We are going to use it intentionally. This is the exact reason why I created Edge Effect Learning Hub. I kept seeing women over 50 trying to navigate layoffs, long term unemployment, retirement, career changes, and new income decisions by themselves. Some of you have been told as you watch the TikTok video or you watch the YouTube video, just update your resume. And you did that. Some of you were being pushed to start a business before you had time to think. When you're not walking in clarity, that is not the time to start a business because a business takes clarity. Okay. Some of you wanted to learn AI, but felt the overwhelm of learning this new technology. Some have been out of work for a while and no longer you just don't feel confident. You don't feel confident enough explaining what you could do. And then some of you have retired and realized you still wanted purpose, income, creativity, community, or all four. And some of you simply need a place where you could ask, what do I do next? Without feeling embarrassed, behind, invisible, or forgotten. So, in this community, which is free, women over 50 can learn to think, rebuild, move forward together, and ask questions and feel free to answer each other. So, inside the Edge Effect Learning Hub, we talk about AI, but not only AI. We talk about mindset. We talk about work. We talk about income. We talk about retirement, career changes, business ideas, faith, practical tools, confidence, and how to turn decades of experience into new possibilities. The goal is not to pressure you into becoming somebody completely different. The goal is to help you recognize what is already in you, learn what you need for the next season, and take the practical steps with support to help you as you journey through this transition. That is also why I created the Out of Work After 50 workbook. It's inside of the hub. You can download it free. It will allow you to walk through it and write down exactly what I said at the beginning of the video. What do you owe? When are the deadlines? How can you negotiate it down? It gives you a step by step of how you can actually begin to minimize the stress that has been thrown upon you that you didn't ask for. We're living in a different time. For those of us that are over 50 and even some of us that are over 60, as I think I stated at the beginning of the video, I'm 62. And I had, for a moment there, I was kind of reeling myself like, what on earth is going on? You remember back in the day, you could go apply for a job and you'd have 3 or 4 offers. Well, the older that you get, those doors don't open as quickly. Number one, businesses see you as someone who is going to retire soon, period. They're looking at your age and they already know you will be retiring soon. There's no way they can get 20, 30, 40 years out of you because you're out the door as soon as possible. All right. So these are the things that we have to consider. And the whole workforce has changed with AI being introduced to so many businesses. The whole workforce has changed. And a lot of us, we don't mind AI as long as it doesn't require us to learn how to use it where it can benefit us. For some reason, there's a blockade up about AI, and AI will help you create things, do things faster than you could have just 3 years ago. So in this learning hub, we're going to teach you how, let's say like you are that woman who's like, okay, I've been a homebound mother for the last 10 years. And how do I take all that knowledge and transition it to where someone can use it? We show you how to do that. We show you how AI can help you take the thoughts that you have and put it into a nice little PDF, and you sell that PDF. AI can help you, instead of having to sit there and write it out and type it all out, you can push that little button in that AI chat box and begin to speak it out, and it takes your thoughts and brings it all together for you in less than 5 seconds. Okay, sometimes 10. Oh my gosh. So I want you to come over to our Learning Hub. There will be a link in the description, and it's going to link you right over to our workbook. And the name of the workbook is Out of Work After 50, Your Next 30 Days Without Panic or Guesswork. Now, that doesn't mean that the only people that can benefit from this workbook are people who were just laid off. You may fit in any of these areas that I talked about in this video, and you can still use this resource, because again, a lot of times we don't really write out where we are, and we can't see where we're going, and we're kind of stabbing at it, but we want to take that stabbing out of it and walk with clarity. Okay, so I created it because when life changes suddenly, people need more than motivation. You need order. You need clear questions that are going to cause you to think, write, respond. When you begin to write that thing out, it begins to trigger movement in your mind, in your psyche, in the way that you're looking at things. Our perspective may be off because we haven't really seen the full picture. Okay. You need a place to organize those thoughts, organize your paperwork, organize your finances, organize your emotions, your skills, and your decisions. You need help comparing employment, temporary work, consulting, business, training without being pushed toward an answer that does not fit your life. Just because you saw the YouTube video of somebody that was 75 that started this XYZ business and they began to make money does not mean that's the alignment that you need to be under. Because the most important thing that you're going to have to do, whether you are a believer or not, y'all all know, if you don't know yet, I am a believer. And I will always tell you, you can write out all your plans. But after you write them plans out, you got to lay that thing before the altar and say, Father, does this line up with the DNA, with the program that you have written in my DNA? Listen, when I go into prayer and I'm getting ready to do something, I say, Father, does this line up with the DNA that you have written for my life? Don't you know your life has already been written out? Your plans have already been written out. So this is not a surprise to God. This stagnation place, this job loss, whatever it is you're facing is not new to God. So now, since it's not new to Him, you have to get in alignment with what He's doing in your life. All right. Okay. So now you see how that suddenly, some of you were probably still had a little fog over your eyes until you just heard that. This is not new to God. He's not like, oh no. So when we understand that, it changes how we see things. So that's why I'm saying the mindset, the mindset, the mindset, it has to change. You have to see things from His perspective and not through your lens. So ask Him, Lord, let me see this through your perspective. Then let me begin to speak your words. Let me begin to change what I'm saying. Some of you have been saying, I'll never find another job. Well, because you just proclaimed that, you prophesied that over your life, you won't. So now what you need to do, if you've been speaking negatively, do you know you can come out of an agreement with that because you made a covenant? You made a covenant when you said that thing. Your words are powerful. So now go to the Father and say, Father, look, I misspoke. I spoke out of turn. I did not mean that. I come out of agreement with not being able to be unemployed. I thank you that favor rests upon my life. I thank you that I am employable. My God, come on. All right? Come on, change it. Because as long as you don't change that prophecy that you spoke, it's not what anybody else said. It's what you spoke. You declared it. Remember, God gave you dominion. So you declared it and you said, I will not be able to find another job. And the heavens agreed with you. So now you've got to come out with your own proclamation. You've got to come out of agreement with that proclamation, cast it down, and say, I walk in the better covenant, which is the covenant of Christ Jesus. I walk in the favor of God. I walk in the glory of God, and doors are open for me. All right? Come on. We got to change that thing. All right. Woo! My God. Woo! So now you need space to think before you speak. You need space to think before you do. You need space before you do anything. You lay that thing on the altar, wherever your prayer altar is, whether it's in your car, the shower, wherever. God, this is my plan. If it doesn't line up with you, allow me to see what you got going for me and let me begin to speak that. Okay? So, this workbook is going to help you stabilize your thoughts, stabilize your finances. It's not going to stabilize it overnight. You're going to have to do some work. Listen, nothing in this life comes to you without you doing something. All right? So get all your important paperwork together as you begin to sit down and go through this workbook. It's only 37 pages. It's FREE, but it's something that will help you transition through this next area in your life as you're transitioning through whatever point you're starting at. Okay? All right. I didn't mean for this to turn into a preach session, but I guess that's what God wanted because he needed you to hear this. All right. So this is not a guide that is a gonna help you get rich quick. I don't do anything like that. Anything that I do, I let you know in the very beginning. I can't promise you any results because I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know if you're going to follow through on the instructions because you want to know what's happening while you're writing all this stuff out, while you're going through the workbook. The Spirit of the Lord begins to minister to you and his wisdom begins to minister to you, and he begins to give you wisdom and understanding on what your next steps are. And a lot of times we hear the next step, but we don't like the next step, so we don't do it. Or we hear the next step and we doubt it. Or we hear the next step and we become fearful. So listen, these are all things that I had to transition through also. And every day I have to transition through it. So I'm not telling you anything that I haven't had to do myself and am yet still doing. All right? Okay. It's not going to promise you that you're going to fix all this and you're going to have six figures by next Friday. That's just not going to happen. All right. But what we are going to do is we're going to get you clarity. What we are going to do is we're going to stabilize you in your thinking capacities so that you can see things clearly. When you see things clearly, think about it. Whenever, let's just say whenever it's a foggy day, normally you're flying down I-10 and you're going about 60, 70 because that's the flow of traffic. But when it's foggy, you slow down because you cannot see what's going on ahead of you. So you slow down and you give yourself room so you can brake if you need to. That's all we're doing. We're just clearing the fog. We're allowing the sunlight, because what happens whenever the sun hits fog? It dissipates. The heat from the sun causes the fog to dissipate. So the heat, the glory of God, the light of God wants to shine in on your fog that's causing you only to be able to see 1 foot in front of you. He wants you to be able to see 10, 15, 20, 30 feet in front of you. He wants you to have a clear passage. Okay? All right. I'm not telling every woman who sees this that you're going to start a business, because that may not be your route. It is designed to help you Claim what's yours and calm the noise. Look at your real options and begin moving forward one decision at a time. Don't make multiple decisions. Look at what you're going to decide on and move in them one at a time. One thing that's really interesting about how God moves in our lives, He may tell you the end of the matter, but He doesn't verbally speak to you all the stuff that goes on in the middle. He may show you you walking on the stage getting your PhD, but you don't see all the nights that you have to stay up and study to get all the levels before you get to your PhD. He may show you getting an award on a stage for your business, but he doesn't show you all the days that you have to pivot, do this, pivot, do that. That didn't work. Let's try this, pivot, do that. He doesn't show you all that. He shows you the end. So that way, you're constantly coming back to him saying, Father, okay, now I completed this part. What's next? Just like your children. Mommy, I cleaned up my room. What's next? Okay, now I want you to go in and I want you to clean out the garage. Oh, Ma. We do the same thing. Oh, Father, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. And he's like, okay, well, until you go clean out the garage, you're not going to move any further. See, we can get it for our children. We just have a hard time getting it for ourselves. So I want you to come and join me. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure you join in with us in the Learning Hub. We're going to really open up what we can do next, what the next looks like. I'm not telling you that every woman should start her own business, okay? But this workbook is designed to help you calm the noise around your life. Look at your real options and begin moving forward one decision at a time. The workbook is available inside of the Edge Effect Learning Hub. There is a link in the description. You can go out there, download it. It's free to get into the Learning Hub, and the actual course is free also. And once you get inside of the Learning Hub, and if it doesn't take you directly to the course, just look up top at the tabs and type learning, and then click on the one that says out of work after 50. Your next 30 days without panic or guesswork. And you can download the workbook. All right. So I believe I have covered everything that I wanted to cover. Let me make sure that I covered everything on my outline. Oh, yes. Don't put yourself under pressure and try to complete the entire workbook in one setting, baby, because those questions that I have in there, they're in there to make you think so that you can really get clear on where you're going. Take your time, write it out honestly. Let the question separate your fear of where you are and facts of where you are. Okay. All right. Then come into the discussion area. Share your thoughts, your questions, or your discoveries. And tell us what you're wrestling with. Tell us what surprised you. Tell us what skill you realize you have been overlooking. Tell us which path you're considering. Your experience may help other women who are carrying the same fear, frustration, and uncertainty. All right. Sometimes the comment you almost did not post is exactly what someone else needs to read. And someone else's experience may help you see an option you may not have considered. This is not only about downloading another PDF and letting it collect dust on your computer. We are going to use this workbook. You're going to have conversations because of this workbook. Talk to your daughters. Let them begin to see how they can even use this workbook for themselves. All right. We're going to learn from one another and we're going to take practical action. So if you know another woman over 40 who is out of work, recently laid off, retired, maybe they're trying to return to work or just trying to figure out what their next move is, share this video with her. All right. I invite her and you to join the community. She may need encouragement, clarity, tools, and the same support you will find inside of this community. Your job may have ended, your career may be changing. Retirement may not look the way you expected. You may not have all the answers yet, but your experience still has value. You're not too old, you're not too late, and you're not starting from scratch. That's the important part. You are not starting from scratch. You have wisdom that people would pay money for. All right. Join us in the Edge Effect AI Learning Hub. It's free. Download the workbook after 50. The link is in the description, and take the next 30 days one clear step at a time. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I hope to see you again, and I hope to see you inside of the community. There's room for your questions, your experience, and your next chapter.